My girlfriend told her bestie that she could stay with us while she is getting divorced, but she is also my biggest hater, so I retracted that offer and told her she can stay on the streets. My girlfriend Anna, 32F, and I, 35M, are currently living in a house that I owned before the start of our relationship. Anna's best friend, Catherine, 33F, and I never really got along. Partially, it's because we're very different types of people, but primarily it's because she doesn't approve of the fact that Anna and I have an open relationship. Ever since Anna disclosed this fact to Catherine, she has accused me of cheating and pressuring Anna into it. Our interactions have gone from frosty to cold. Just to set the record straight, it's not cheating. Cheating absolutely exists in open relationships. The thresholds are just set through discussion, and neither of us has ever done anything against these agreed upon hard rules. Also, neither of us pressured the other. We had a conversation early in our relationship about why our previous relationships failed, and realized that both of us struggled with relationships becoming routine. We weren't ready to give up the thrill and excitement of meeting and dating new people. Since we're both not particularly jealous, we decided to try a non-monogamous relationship, and it has worked well for us ever since. I have already tried explaining this to Catherine once or twice, so from my point of view, I did my due diligence to have a good relationship with her, though her perception might differ. Anyways, last week, Anna received an unexpected emergency call from Catherine. As it turns out, Catherine is serving her husband with divorce papers because he had a secret affair over the last few months. As a good friend, Anna immediately invited her to stay at our place for a few weeks until things are sorted out. Catherine doesn't have family here, but we both have beds in our respective home offices, so in Anna's mind, it was the perfect solution. When Anna told me about Catherine's call, I quickly had to pump the brakes. I'm not going to lie, the idea of having a hostile houseguest in my own home isn't appealing on its own. However, that's not even my main reason. Both Anna and I have friends with benefits or secondary partners who occasionally stay over when Anna works night shifts or when I'm traveling for work. They also visit for the occasional platonic movie night or dinner party. Friends with benefits are still friends after all. Now, having Catherine here would mean we'd either have to significantly scale back these relationships for an undetermined length of time, or have them over anyway. As I imagine Catherine is probably even less tolerant towards perceived infidelity right now, that would likely result in a hostile experience for our other partners. Both of these scenarios, to me, seem unfair to me and our secondary relationships. We always saw these as real relationships that deserve respect and consideration, just as much as our relationship within some increments of prioritization, of course. So I told Anna that I didn't want Catherine living here. Anna pretty much saw my reasoning right away and, given that I own the house, apologized for her rushed invitation and called Catherine to retract it. Since then, the situation has gotten out of hand, to be honest. Our friends are pretty much split along the lines of, it's your house, and, wow, you put Catherine on the streets just because of your side chicks? Catherine kicked the conversation up an additional notch by insinuating that I'm trying to isolate Anna from her, and that I said no because I hate that they are friends. For the record, I never had a problem with their friendship, nor did I ever do anything to limit it. Anyways, I'm increasingly starting to wonder if my objection was worth it and the right call, or if it was unfair to Catherine. Also, to clarify, Catherine has never been outwardly aggressive or offensive towards me. It's always been insinuations and probably gossip. Update 1. I figured I'd give an update because I still get notifications from my initial posts somehow. The responses were actually quite helpful, so I'd like to say thanks and share the outcome. It was reassuring that so many people agreed we weren't out of line and should stick with our decision. Even more helpful were the questions about why we didn't turn the tables, get in front of the supposed backlash and say, well, why don't you host her then? We only heard about the criticism against us through the grapevine, and we didn't really have a specific person to say, well, then you should house her, too. But after reading your comments, Anna got the idea to send out a WhatsApp broadcast to our shared friend group. It basically said that we're feeling very guilty because of Catherine's situation, and that it was crappy to make a promise and then take it back, but we simply realized that our lifestyle might be triggering for her in her current situation, which would be uncomfortable for everyone involved. But we'd be happy to help anyone who'll take her in whatever way we can. Cue the crickets. That was the moment we realized there were fewer people on Catherine's side than we initially assumed. Actually, only one couple, who were friends with both Catherine and her husband, reached out to invite us to dinner, apparently to share some things we weren't aware of yet. First of all, according to them, the affair wasn't the carnal thing Catherine made it out to be, but more of a falling out of love situation on the husband's side that had been long coming. Basically, he met someone and realized his marriage was already at its end. He did the moral thing and broke up with Catherine. No one is 100% sure if there was something physical before that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was all in Catherine's head. There's also apparently a very juicy reason why Catherine's husband gets to keep staying in the house, but this update is long enough already. As for the whole smear campaign launched against us, it turns out that the drama consisted of only 3 things. Firstly, Catherine trying to pressure us and, consciously or unconsciously, sowing rumors that everybody was really angry with us. Secondly, there was only a single couple that stood on Catherine's side. And lastly, a lot of people hoping not to get pulled into a war of roses and just nodding politely. The couple that was on Catherine's side were the friends Catherine hit up right after us, by the way. The dinner party friends theory is that they threw us under the bus and fed into Catherine's outrage because the couple has a young daughter. We know for a fact that Catherine has just as many Karen-style convictions about parenting as she has about relationship styles. Anyways, Catherine is now basically ostracized, moved in with family a bit outside the city, and is working remotely until she finds a condo to haunt this city from again. I also want to clarify a few things from the original post. To the people that insinuated I pressured Anna into this relationship or keep her on a short leash, given how non-monogamous dating works out for different genders, trust me when I tell you she isn't lacking options to get out of this relationship if she wanted. To those who criticized Anna for not standing up for me, I consciously didn't want to include this part because I didn't want to invite judgment of Anna, but that has been a dicey subject in our relationship. However, with Anna's explicit permission to share this now, there's actually a lot of backstory with Catherine adopting a loner Anna into her friend group back in their school days. Anna somehow still feels like she needs to earn her place in the friend group and be grateful for Catherine. She's currently looking into going to therapy for that. Finally, I want to add a bit of positive news coming out of this crap show. This whole fiasco made Anna and me talk through the whole someone else moving in topic. It's not something we're going to do in the near future, but Anna told me there's one person she's currently seeing with whom she might eventually move in that direction. And this time she asked me early if I'd be okay with this person moving in with us at some point in the future, hinge, not throuple, for those who speak poly. I kinda like that Catherine would probably hate that this is the outcome of her whole tantrum. But other than that, I'm really happy things are mainly back to normal now. Commenter. Oh come on, what was the juicy reasoning? Ops response. Allegedly, Catherine's husband was the one carrying their marriage financially, shouldering the vast majority of fixed expenses, despite both of them working and not having a significant earnings discrepancy between them. So, when she wanted to kick him out, he apparently said, "Sure, I'll let you know what you need to pay to keep everything running." Catherine had a surprised Pikachu face at the realization that divorce means paying for her own living expenses, and agreed to downsize in exchange for moving out, and him eventually buying her out of the house. Basically, she was living above her means somehow. No idea where her money went, though.